There's an exciting morning ahead at Hananya's enclosure. The 18-strong troop are in for a super fruity breakfast. And anticipation is building.
It's going to be very loud this morning, just a warning.
The park has received a large donation of fresh mangoes, melons and pineapples. Sean and the primate care team are stuffing them into old socks and pillowcases ready to disperse around the enclosure.
We do still give them that sort of thing as part of their diets, but we do chop and change their fruit every single day just so it doesn't get too boring. But they don't usually get it in such a big quantity. It's fine every now and again just to give them a nice big treat. Just in the wild, they are gorge feeders. If they find a load of trees with figs on, they'll just spend all day eating and making themselves nice and big and fat. And then the day after, they might do it again until there's no more figs.
And just like in the wild, the chimps are going to have to search for the bounty.
Oh, it'd be good if I could get it up there. Go on. Oh.
It's meant to be a workout for the chimps, but distributing the treats in hard-to-reach areas is taxing the keepers too. They're giving it plenty of welly.
Overshot that one.
But the next one's a belter.
I'm well happy with that.
Meaning the chimps will work that little bit harder for their meal.
That's just textbook, that is.
Encouraging them up high and keeping their bodies and brains active.
That'll do. It just helps them spread it about a bit more as well, otherwise you're going to have the likes of Johnny just sat on a pile of mangoes and no one else getting any, so yeah, we need to spread it out a bit.
Mission complete, and the slides are opened. The highly excited group rush out en masse, eager to see what's on the breakfast menu. It doesn't take them long to realise that pillowcases and socks contain fruity treasure. They're soon tearing at the cloth to reach the prize inside. True to form, dominant female Johnny collects and hoards as many as she can. Cookie and Trudy want to hang on to theirs too, so head off to eat in a quiet spot. In the wild, chimps will gorge on plentiful food discoveries, coming together as a community. Boss Hananya and a large number of his troop demonstrate the behaviour, eating contentedly in a communal setting. The chimps tear into the fruit easily with their strong teeth. Shamak made short work of a juicy mango. The chimp's long canines are perfect for piercing the tougher outer skin to reach the juicy flesh. The fruit-fueled breakfast is not a regular occurrence. The primate care team have to pay close attention to the chimps' diets in order to avoid health problems. It means regulating the amount of commercial fruit they're given.
We had quite a lot of, not obese, but slightly overweight chimps. It is something you do want to keep an eye on. It's always treading that fine line between, like, you know, giving them nice things, but also keeping them healthy. But the major reason we did start cutting down the fruit was because of Bart's diabetes. And we thought, yeah, we are going a bit overboard, so maybe let's pull it back a little bit. But at the end of the day, they are still rescues, and we do still need to spoil them sometimes. So every now and again, grabbing a mountain of melons and pineapples and mangoes, throwing them in there and just letting them have a wonderful morning, you know, it's got to be done.
There's plenty to go round, meaning even the low rankers get their share of the fruity feast. Trudy's enjoying it so much she's even climbed up high to eat. She does love her food, but isn't the most active of chimps, and often goes for the easier pickings at ground level, so it's good to see her using the climbing frame. Alpha male Hananya's getting a lot of attention today, something he doesn't always appreciate.
I think out of all of our top boys here, he has the toughest time. We've got a lot of big characters, particularly with the girls in this group, and they are very much in his face all the time and just constantly being niggled at by him. But yeah, I think he definitely appreciates just a little bit of quiet time. Just sit back and eat a melon without anyone asking him for anything.
Sneaking off lower down the climbing frame may give him the moment's peace he craves. Today's enrichment has been a success. The whole troop have come together, their usual squabbles replaced by hugs and greetings.
It's just been quite nice seeing everyone just getting along for a change, particularly when we have had that little bit of tension between Hananya, Simon and Johnny recently. It's been nice to just see everyone just pile in there and just stuff their faces and choose to be nice to each other instead.
And after a hearty meal, there's usually two options. Sleep it off or burn it off with a bit of play, like Thelma and Arthur. There are 24 different species at the park, all with differing dietary requirements. Keeping the primates busy and active at feeding time is a priority for the primate care teams. Today, golden-cheeked gibbons Peanut and Pung Yo are benefiting from a donation which fits the bill. Luscious grapes still on the vine.
It's definitely new and interesting to them. When we normally feed them grapes for a treat, they would just get individual ones that we can buy from the store, so they wouldn't come with all the lovely foliage. So I definitely think they'll go for the fruit first. That's the tastiest bit. But you might see them after picking at all of the leaves, because naturally in the wild they would eat a lot of foliage as well.
To replicate the gibbon's natural wild environment, Sean is wrapping the vines around the ropes in the enclosure and suspending them in hard-to-reach places.
But naturally in the wild, their food wouldn't be served to them nice and easy. They would have to go out and forage for it and find it themselves. So we have these pulley feeders that will get them up in the trees. They are arboreal primates, so it just replicates what they would naturally find. So yeah, it just makes them work that little bit harder for their food this morning. So you can see it covers the grapes nice and well.
Grapes do form part of the gibbon's diet, but this smaller variety, still on the vine, will be an interesting and stimulating change. The pair are straight out and immediately tuck into the easier-to-reach grapes. Peanut loves her food, and her mate Pung Yo usually has to wait his turn. But with today's bumper crop, there's more than enough to go round. And Pung Yo keeps Peanut at arm's length by heading high to secure his own supply. In the wild, gibbons occasionally come across a tree laden with ripe fruit and gorge themselves. But the produce available in the UK is very different to the natural fruits found in the forests of Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia.
We do restrict the fruits here, and it's mainly because the fruits that we have in the UK are a lot higher sugar content than the wild counterparts. So we do reduce it, but then also the gibbons, the other parts of their diet consists of different foliage, insects, so we need to create a balanced diet. So reducing the fruit, our vegetables and root vegetables are more of an equivalent to the wild fruit counterparts.
Peanut never misses a trick where food's concerned, and she spotted plenty in the suspended feeder high up in the trees. She reaches in to prise them free, one by one. The manoeuvre is accomplished by hanging from one arm, demonstrating how well adapted gibbons are to life in the trees. Pung Yo and Peanut have both come a long way since being smuggled from the wild for the illegal pet trade. They've been together for nearly 20 years and raised 3 children, and their bond is as strong now as it's ever been. It's a glorious day, and at Hananya's chimp enclosure, the group are outside making the most of the sunshine. There are 18 members in this troop, and they've evolved into a close-knit, happy and healthy bunch. While the chimps are enjoying themselves outside, inside primate care team member Jess is busy cooking up a warming treat. The park has been given a large donation of cranberries, and Jess is heating them up in fruit squash before adding the mixture to some hot porridge oats.
We could give it out to them as hot juice, which they do really enjoy, but adding oats and putting them in a Kong, it's just more enriching for them because it takes them longer to solve the puzzle, and especially during the colder months, we like to give them warm juice, warm enrichment. It just helps prevent colds and keeps them warm and healthy.
With some of the troop looking on in anticipation, Jess stuffs the hot, mushy concoction into dog toys, known as Kongs. It'll give the chimps something to think about and slow them down a little. And there's plenty to go round.
When we give out enrichment, we need to make sure that there's enough for everyone, to make sure that it's fair, we don't cause any disagreements. So here we've got enough for 3 each. I wish I could say that it would be that easy, that they'd all know how much to take, but that at least means that if you have a high ranker like Johnny or Hananya who take more than their share, there should be enough for then our lower rankers to have some as well. But I've also left some cranberries loose, so we'll throw them out as a scatter at the same time, so that if anyone does miss out on a Kong, which hopefully they won't, there's still something for them to enjoy. We're going to hear some excited noises, hopefully.
She's not wrong. Cranberries are a great source of vitamins and antioxidants, which will help boost the chimp's immunity, useful at this chilly time of year. But Hananya and his chums are simply anticipating something delicious is heading their way.
It's so nice to hear them like this. It's great because they're not too excited, it's just that right level, which is why enrichment's so amazing for them. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the Kongs to them and seeing how they react. Some of them might not like cranberries, so we'll have to see if the excitement's worth it. Are you ready, everyone? Here you go!
Jess starts with a scatter feed to split the group up. Then the Kongs are thrown in from 2 different towers to give everyone a chance of securing at least one.
Oh, Trudy!
It's a mad scramble for the much sought-after Kongs, especially by the more dominant chimps. Hananya's second-in-command, Simon, is quick off the mark to bag 2. But Cherry is happy to hoover up any loose cranberries she can find. The chimps are used to Kongs, including porridge-filled ones. But today's extra ingredient promises to be one sticky mess. Johnny is determined to nab as many as she can.
Oh, Johnny, he's stealing everything. Cherry! We love Johnny, but yeah, she does throw weight around a bit. She is our dominant female, so if she can get our hands on the good stuff, she will. But that's also why we've got this scatter of cranberries, so that if she does steal off individuals, they can still, get some nice treats as well. Patricia is a good individual as well. You'll see her wandering around with more than she can carry, really, which is always quite entertaining to watch. Has everyone got one? Good.
The chimps quieten down as they tuck into the porridge-filled Kongs. Clever Marjolaine uses a stick as a utensil to scoop out the food inside. Chimps in the wild are known for demonstrating similar behaviour. It helps reach the food fingers can't. Cherry has a more basic technique. Trudy and Arthur forage in the grass for the cranberry scatter feed, while Hananya uses his position as leader to help himself to one of Cherry's from right under her nose. The group makes short work of the porridge-filled Kongs, and after all the excitement, it's good to find a nice warm spot to snuggle down in the sunshine. The change in seasons brings different and exciting forms of enrichment for the primates. At the Saki Monkey House, devoted couple Desmond and Chloe are about to be given a seasonal treat. But there's a third resident at their house who'll be eager to secure a share.
We've also got Loki the marmoset. So it's one of the only mixed species groups that we've got here. The reason that Loki is living with the Saki monkeys is essentially he's a marmoset with an ASBO when it comes to other marmosets. He just doesn't understand marmoset language. He doesn't know how to interact with them. He's somebody that we have tried on and off again over the years many times to accept the company of another marmoset, and every time his instinct is to just attack.
Loki was a victim of the UK pet trade and spent his early life on his own. He became very human-focused and so lacks the necessary skills and social etiquette to live with others of his own kind. His failure to find friends at the park has resulted in him becoming housemate to Desmond and Chloe.
This works out really well because it's given him some sort of social interaction, and it's also good for the Sarkies because they're a little old couple and it's nice to vary up their environment and give them something else in their environment to look at and to interact with.
Today, the trio are getting some seasonal pumpkins, full of seeds and with plenty of juicy flesh. Steph has also cut holes in some to add an extra treat: live mealworms.
So it's really important to change the environment for these guys. You want to keep things interesting, you want to constantly keep the primates' brains active as well as their bodies. They've got something new to think about, something new to interact with. So something like this is great because it just changes up that environment and gives them something to engage with.
Marmoset Loki sprints out. The large orange pumpkin is bigger than he is. But there are smaller options. He's a common marmoset, highly active and always on the move. A ready-cut pumpkin is his first choice. Eventually, Desmond makes an appearance, grabs a handful of seeds, and heads back to find Chloe. Loki's already on the hunt for more. He demonstrates great agility and strength, abseiling down to a smaller hanging pumpkin to try and pick out the seeds. Desmond has persuaded Chloe to venture out, but she's in no rush. She's thought to be the oldest captive Saki monkey in Europe.
Chloe is a really old lady now. She's a very old girl. We think she might be going just a little senile in her old age. She gets a bit confused at times. So it's important that we keep a really close eye on her, make sure she's okay, make sure there's lots of stuff that she can be thinking about and engaging with so she doesn't spend too much time just sort of sitting and gazing into the distance. But the two of them are really, really sweet together. You see lots of grooming, lots of sitting up close and cuddling. Just a really sweet old couple.
The devoted pair lose interest in the pumpkins and head off together. But Loki isn't finished. The wriggly mealworms have grabbed his attention, and for now, he's got them all to himself. Chimps love routine, particularly at feeding time. Every morning, the bachelor boys have their breakfast in their outdoor enclosure. It's also an opportunity to enjoy some fresh air and let off a bit of steam. While the group are fully engaged outside, inside the primate care team get to work. There are bedrooms to clean and the playroom to prepare. Today, they're also busy making a surprise for the boys to help keep the group happy and active.
We have some donated raspberries, which is quite exciting for them, and also we've got some locusts as well going into the bottles. When we get donations come in, we do try and give them to them as often as possible, just because it is really quite exciting for them. Gets them to use their brains a bit as well, to work out how to get the stuff out of the plastic bottles. And yeah, hopefully they'll really enjoy it today.
Chimps eat insects and grubs in the wild, but the last time the bachelors were given something moving to eat, they weren't too enamoured. The huge hissing cockroaches definitely weren't to their taste. Today's locusts mixed in with fresh raspberries may persuade them to give it a go.
It does depend on the individuals, so some guys will go straight for them because, as I say, it's really exciting. Other ones will actually collect and hoard them. Someone like Sammy will actually get a little collection of the insects going, basically because he's really quite greedy, where someone like Charlie might not actually pay that much attention to the insects.
Time to see what the boys make of the lively locusts. The slide connecting the outside enclosure to the playroom is opened, and the boys waste no time heading back inside. Seamus is in first and runs across to greet Jeff.
Hey, buddy.
The rest of the group aren't far behind and immediately spot the clear plastic bottles. Raspberries are a favourite with many of the chimps, and each displays their own technique to reach them. Sammy uses his teeth and brute strength to break the bottle in two. He loves the main course of raspberries, but isn't so keen on the side dish that comes with it. His friend, 23-year-old Seamus, does things a little differently, cleverly unscrewing the bottle top using his teeth before tipping the fruit into his mouth. Seamus was born at the park to Mum Cherry after a birth control accident and holds a low-ranking position in the bachelor group. But he's well liked and a bit of a character. Jester is one of the more dominant boys. He strikes lucky finding a pile of raspberries on the floor and immediately hoovers them up. Most of the chimps ignore the locusts in favour of devouring the juicy fruit. Seamus, however, seems to be playing with one of the insects, holding it between his lips. Once the supply of raspberries is pretty much exhausted, the majority of the group head back outside, leaving some of the lower rankers to mop up any leftovers they can find. Charlie, however, is quite content just to chill out. Enriching the lives of the primates at the park is one of the care team's constant and most important undertakings, and it's a continuously evolving task. The aim is always to encourage natural behaviours and keep their charges engaged. To do this, the staff need to keep coming up with new ideas. But sometimes a good idea for one group can prove useful for another too. Like this mobile termite mound, which entertained the youngsters at the orangutan nursery. It proved such a hit that Toby is borrowing the idea and preparing to try it out on Erico's group of capuchins down at the lodge.
They're quite versatile and we can use them in a number of ways. We use them like we do an artificial termite mound, where we hang them on the outside of the mesh and they have to reach through or poke sticks in to retrieve the treats. Or today, I'm actually going to suspend them in their outside enclosure, high enough up the ground so that they actually have to work a bit to get it, and they have to go along the hosing, and it will encourage Sean and Erico, hopefully, up off the ground a bit, because those two could do with doing just a little bit more climbing.
Toby is smearing the inside of the kongs, which are attached to the boards, with honey and adding the capuchin's breakfast of sliced bananas still in the skin. Hopefully the honey, being a high-value item, will keep some of the more dominant individuals busy, giving the others a chance to get involved.
The ability to climb varies in this group because there's a mixture. A lot of the older animals in here were wild caught before they were taken to the laboratory, so they're brilliant up the trees. Ringo, Abby Marlowe, Scarlet, Zoe, Binty will be right up the top of these trees on a sunny morning like this morning, getting the warmth. Erico can climb, he just can't be bothered sometimes. He doesn't need to so much because he's the dominant male. Sean isn't so great at climbing. He never has been, but obviously he has got the handicap of his fingers, which does hinder him. But yeah, everyone in this group is capable of doing at least some sort of climbing, so hopefully we'll get them up and off the ground and having to, use some different muscles for a change.
Leader Erico is first out. He immediately spots the hanging feeders and heads straight for them. Not the most enthusiastic climber, this morning sees his love of food and puzzles spurring him on to check them out. The rest of the group aren't far behind. The capuchins are soon trying various techniques to reach the sticky honey and banana. Abby balances at full stretch, while elderly Binti defies her age, showing strength and agility as she clings on with one hand and uses the other to reach in for the treat. Not everyone has left the ground. Low-ranking Caesar has worked out he can reach one of the boards just by standing tall. But most are having a good workout and showing off their Mission Impossible skills. The two newbies in the group are settling in well, and Matty appears to have now accepted Erico is the boss. His female friend, Louie, has fully embraced life in the large group. She's always on the go, loves climbing, and is finding today's task finger-licking good.
She's not one of the wild-caught ones like, say, the likes of Abby, Milo and Scarlett, so seeing her climbing around like that and sort of using her tail and using her sort of balancing herself, it's really good. She'll have used all sorts of core muscles there because she sort of has to balance on top of the board while sort of reaching down and getting the banana out and getting the honey out. So yeah, she's done really well. She seems to have really sort of thrived with it.
In the wild, capuchin monkeys are found roaming the tropical forests of Central and South America. They're an arboreal species. They spend almost all of their time off the ground in the tree canopy, foraging and travelling safe from terrestrial predators. Capuchin monkeys live in large mixed groups of up to 35. A single dominant male leads the troop. The species is considered to be the most intelligent New World monkey, able to assess and solve problems, especially when it comes to food. Erico's group have certainly demonstrated their ability today.
This has been a really big success, and hopefully we can maybe make some more so we can spread them out more around the enclosure, and potentially we can try it on some of the other sort of smaller species on the park as well, like the lemurs and the spider monkeys and the squirrel monkeys.
With more than 260 primates to feed and keep content all year round, the park welcomes generous donations of fruit and insects, particularly in the colder months.
Winter management is always more challenging because there's less for them to do out in the enclosures, less foraging for bugs and sort of browse and things like that. So being able to kind of just throw out some nice treats for them throughout the winter definitely does kind of, just keeps them in higher spirits, and they certainly get a lot of enjoyment out of some nice extra treats that they wouldn't normally get.
Sharon has prepared a colourful breakfast for Levar's troop of 7 woolly monkeys. She distributes a donation of strawberries mixed in with whole oranges and carrots all over the wonderful tree-filled enclosure. The aim is to get every member of the group outside and keep them busy and active on this cold winter's morning. The troop pile out en masse. There's lots of excited trilling as they realise there's something different on the menu today. The natural enclosure, with a network of ropes and hosing linking all the trees, makes it easy for the troop to move around and search out the fresh fruit and veg breakfast. Five-year-old Cosmo is enjoying the strawberries. It's cold enough to see his breath, but that doesn't stop him devouring them one after the other. Strawberries are definitely a firm favourite. The park's oldest woolly monkey, Levar, and his 2-year-old son, Leroy, bond over their shared love of the fruit as they breakfast together. The primate care team are convinced there'll be a couple of new additions to the group in the near future. A health check last week confirmed Olivia is expecting a baby in the next couple of months.
Olivia is doing well. She's not a very large pregnant female, but she is young. She is quite a small girl anyway. It's first time baby. So it is always, we really do struggle pinpointing due dates with these monkeys because they all present so differently. So we're keeping a very close eye on her, but generally in herself she's happy enough, and yeah, we're quite happy that she seems to be just progressing okay.
It's a family affair. Olivia's mum Zingu is also thought to be pregnant, which could be a great help for her daughter, who'll be a first-time mum.
I think Zingu will certainly be keeping a close eye and hopefully showing that nice sort of interest as well as dominant female, and I think having Zingu here in this group is definitely going to benefit Olivia when baby comes along.
But that's in the future. For now, the group's focus is the tasty breakfast, with everyone tucking in and enjoying it. Including the local wildlife. The bachelor woolly monkeys are in for a big treat today. The park has received a generous donation of natural honeycomb, full of sticky, gooey honey. It's something this troop has never had before.
I think they might be a little wary at first, but I'm sure once they smell the sweetness of the honey, they'll soon realise it's just a delicious treat. But yeah, they definitely wouldn't get this much sugar in their usual diet, so it is a very rare treat.
Hannah is skewering the honeycomb in hard-to-reach places, so the troop has to work to access it. Raw honeycomb is packed with vitamins and antioxidants and has numerous health benefits, including fighting infections and improving heart health. She's also smearing some honey on the branches to replicate tree sap in a bid to encourage natural foraging behaviours from the group.
Mammy!
Carlos is first out of the blocks, followed by Manny.
Come on, Manny!
The rest of the troop isn't far behind. But, as Hannah suspected, they're all a little wary of the unusual snack in their enclosure. Instead, they tuck into the more recognisable breakfast of cucumber and pak choy the primate care team have also distributed. At first, they ignore the delicious sweet honeycomb hanging from the branches. It's one of the youngest members of the troop, 5-year-old Claude, who investigates the sticky treat first. Like all woolies, he's initially cautious, carefully investigating what the substance could be. He tries it, but then leaves the honeycomb still attached to the branch. The smallest of the boys is Cassius. He uses his tail to help balance as he checks out the honey from arm's length. He's interested, but guarded. A quick taste of one, then he investigates another. Confirmation, it's sweet and tasty. The leader of the group, and also its oldest member, 14-year-old Paolo, is the first to tackle a whole honeycomb. Soon, they all overcome their hesitation and enthusiastically devour the treat.
They just took one monkey, which I think was Claude actually, he was the bravest. He just had one taste, realised it was nice and sweet, and then once he started chirping and trilling, I think the others cottoned on and then they started trying it as well. And now they're just going around the enclosure, licking it off the branches, so they seem to be enjoying it now. It's probably a good thing that they didn't go straight away and just consume it. They'd probably get very hyper if they did that, and now this way it will just last them all day and they'll just keep going back to it.
There should have been 6 members of the troop enjoying today's treat, but tragically, young male Lemmy, who had been part of the group, had to be put to sleep a few weeks ago. The primate care staff had been concerned about him for some time, because he wasn't maturing and growing like he should. Health checks confirmed his internal organs were underdeveloped and he had pneumonia. The 5 remaining boys were quiet and subdued for a while. But they seem to have accepted his absence, and life continues for this unique troop of males. It's a warm, sunny day at the park, and Tuan's group of 6 orangutans are making the most of it. They're outside enjoying their large enclosure and tucking into a bounty of whole cucumbers.
Ame!
To boost their hydration and keep them cool, primate care member Jarno is throwing in frozen lollies made with sugar-free squash.
Awi, this is you. It's really hot day today, and having ice lollies is perfect to cool everybody down.
The group has been settled for more than a year now, after Lucky and Roro resolved their differences and found a way to live together. For Lucky, it means mostly keeping herself to herself. The catalyst for this degree of harmony is the youngest member of the group, Hujan. Everyone loves him.
Hujan just make the group is nice and calm now, which is great.
The primate care teams at the park love to challenge their charges and encourage natural behaviour. Today, it's the turn of the youngest and probably most energetic group of capuchins, led by Franco.
We're basically hanging whole foods up for them, so we've got melons and pineapples. It's a bit of a treat. They don't always get fruit presented like this. They don't always get whole things. So yeah, it's going to be quite exciting, and we're hanging it up all over the enclosure, so getting it up as high as possible, getting the harness on, ladders up, and yeah, just hanging it up on the highest points that we can.
The fruit may be high in sugar, but by stringing it up in hard-to-reach places...
So we'll just need to get it over first so that I can actually knot it.
The team are counting on the capuchins expending a lot of energy and calories getting to the fruit and breaking it open before they even eat it.
I mean, capuchins are really destructive animals, really. They're really destructive foragers. So, yeah, they'll have no problem with this. They're quite well known for bashing things around on rocks and using tools to smash things open. So, yeah, I don't think we'll have much problem.
Time to see if Katie is right.
Right, we ready?
The 2 old ladies of this predominantly young group are let out first. Lucy and Mary were born in the wild before being caught for use in a laboratory. They used to be the dominant females, but have now surrendered the position to the more feisty, younger girls. Early access allows them an opportunity to get their share of the food before the more dominant individuals take over. The rest of the troop can't wait to get started. Leader Franco considers the tightrope, but it's not for him. Frida demonstrates great balance. The clever female works out how to untie the rope securing a watermelon. It's too heavy for her to catch, and she's going to have to move quickly before someone else tucks in. Felipe, Franco's second in command, adopts a Mission Impossible style and uses his tail as a counterbalance. It's an amazing display of agility on such a thin piece of rope. Emily makes short work of a pineapple, her sharp teeth tearing out chunks. While Digit forages for leftovers, William uses his razor-sharp teeth to gnaw through the tough outer skin of a melon. Fabian, one of the youngest of the group, tackles a whole watermelon with strength and determination, successfully splitting it in 2.
They're amazingly strong. I don't think you realise exactly how strong they are until you see them doing something like that and carrying a big melon. For their size, yeah, they're massively strong. But you can definitely see it is a little bit awkward for them. Quite often they have to go on 2 legs, which obviously isn't their natural way of walking entirely. But they seem to manage all right, and it's definitely enriching for them.
Today's challenge is having the desired effect, stretching the capuchin's capabilities and keeping them engaged. Agile Emily sets the standard.
It's really nice to do this because it's presenting them their food in a slightly different way, and it is encouraging them to kind of process it. They have to think about what they're doing. And yeah, it is quite a difficult thing to get into a melon or a bit of pineapple, and especially negotiate these bits of rope that we've got. So it's really nice to see them doing all these behaviours, and that's the kind of thing they probably spend most of their day doing. So it is really natural behaviour to see.
With the warmer weather, the capuchins have 24-hour access to their enclosure and can come and go as they please, giving them plenty of time to enjoy the fruits of their labour.